It's time for us to head to the Horsham District Football League. The Jeparit Rainbow Stormers. Well, they didn't storm into any grand finals, but Big Peter Warrior, he's been watching the storms and the rain and the rust in the paddock. He's joining me now. How are you, big fella?
Yeah, going really well, thanks, Wayne. And yeah, I didn't get to the game on Saturday, but apparently it was a terrific grand final in the senior footy and just as good a match over on the netball court as well. So a great few grand finals for the Horsham District League, coming out of these COVID years.
Oh, it's fantastic. Of course, you were at a grand final over at the North Central, having a look at your great mate Dale Hinkley, who we'll talk to next up on the program about his magnificent premiership. But I want to ask you about how the Keys kick after the siren, how close they talk about it. Could have almost got them and snatched another unlikely win for them, but Rapanya hang on 11-17-83 to the Keys 12-8-80 in a grand final, some say, for the ages. Well, it has been ages since Rapanya have won one.
Yeah, it will be such an exciting time for the Rapanya Footy Club. But yeah, Kalkee took it right up to them right until that last kick of the day, Flowman. Yeah, unfortunately for the Kalkee team, it just sailed wide and it was a kick after the siren, so it would have been an absolute dream result if that ball did go in. But yeah, it was Rapanya's premiership this year and probably pretty well deserved. They were the standout team all year and very well led by Jack Musgrove and likewise Stewie Farr couldn't have done any more for his Kalkee team, and I know he only deals in premierships, Flowman, but it was still a great season for the Kalkee Footy Club.
Yes, it was. Musgrove with 3 led the way with Ison. He hasn't been dominant this year as he had been previously over at Minyip Matoa, but his dominance on a grand final certainly showed, and a good effort from Isaiah Adams with 3 for his side, the Keys, and Mitchell Gleeson starred on the day, and Paul Trotter and Daniel Wheatra very good. Jasper Gunn very good for his side, the Keys, on the day. The Twos, though, were in great form. The Radua Kwantong 6-18-54 to 3-4-22 over Rupp. A great performance by Narrajua Kwantong, albeit they didn't kick very straight in this game.
Yeah, a bit like the Rapanya boys in the senior game a bit later. The conditions must have been a little bit tricky because, Narrajua Kwantong kicked a lot of behinds, and I know their club's been striving really hard for a senior premiership. It's probably not the one they want in the reserves, but it's still great to collect some silverware. And Jason Kerr, who's been a great senior player, was best on ground, returning from a knee injury this season, and led his side around the park to earn best on ground honours in the reserves win. Yeah,
Riley Hobbs, a couple of goals for Narrajua Kwantong, 2 to David Lang for Rapanya. Great to see some of the players in their reserves who've played a lot of senior football over the years. The 17s, this was Pimpanayo's 12-12-84 to the Keys, 6-6-42. Very mathematical, that one. It's a double of the score.
Yeah, the Kalkee boys went with Pimpanayo early, so there's good signs for the Kalkee under-17s that'll push up into their senior ranks to bolster that senior team next year. But yeah, the Pimpanayo boys finished off their perfect season with a premiership medal.
And now for if you're thinking of Pimpanayo and their future senior aspirations, Clint Burdett has to now see these kids, the Riley Adamses, the Jai Browns, the Bronson Lounders, got to get these kids up to the next level of senior footy and get Pimpanayo really pumping next year in senior footy.
Yeah, I think the natural improvement you see from clubs definitely is from the juniors. So I think Clint Burdett's first job this week would be to ring those premiership players and make sure they're all there for the first night of pre-season over summer. And if that's the case, you'll see a dramatic improvement in Pimpanayo next year.
I reckon we will. Laharam won the kids 5-4-34 to Canoverly, or 2-2-14. A good little performance, but Laharam have dominated this comp this year.
Yeah, Laharam were always going to be too good. We hope Caniva might get up in an upset just to bring some silverware that way. But yeah, Laharam were too good. And I think there was a nasty injury at the start of that game, Flowman. So hopefully the young fella who had a leg injury recovers all right and he's right to go for next footy season.
Yeah, good on young Byron Merritt for Caniva, and great play for Ahmed Asker from Laharam. Rightio, best and fairest at the Jeparit Rainbow Storm count on Saturday afternoon. And it was Scotty Driscoll got home in the seniors.
Yeah, he's been a great player, great pickup for the club, Scotty Driscoll, and this year he's consistently in the top few players, and he's a great teammate. He leads the way, always looks after and protects his teammates out there, and also he's a great man to have the ball in his hands. He always makes the right decision, and he's got as good a skills as anyone in the team. So he was a very well-deserving winner, and Charles Wild, another recruit from down at Geelong, snuck into runners-up, Flowman, and he brought some real hardness and toughness around the ball, and those few games that we did drop off him throughout the season, he always stood out as a player who wanted to win every contest, and he rightfully finished second in the count.
All right, leading goal kicker, of course, Jay Kerwood was out in front and in the league, third, which was a great effort from him, and then winning your goal kicking. Any other awards for the senior players on the day?
Well, I think an important one was Daniel Batson, who's our coach. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to coach again next year, Flowman, but I think he's 3 or 4 years in charge. He's done a terrific job. It's a pretty tough gig being a country footy coach. There's a lot of different elements to have to juggle and manage and throw a couple of COVID seasons in there. I think he's done a great job, and he won the Best in Finals award. So to have your coach leading the way in those 2 finals, I thought was a well-deserved award for Batto, and I think the club thanks him very much for his service over the last 4 seasons.
Oh, great stuff. Well done to Daniel. And heading to the reserve grade, Big Weary, how did the best and fairest count unfold?
Matty Millwood, a little midfielder, Flowman, had a great season. Yeah, if he comes to a lot more trainings, he's definitely got senior qualities, but he stood out in the reserve season and won the best and fairest.
All right, the 17-year-olds?
Caden Petchell, who came across from the Southern Mallee Giants, just with them lacking that under-17 group. He came to have his last season as junior football at Jeparit Rainbow Football Club, and obviously had a great impact around the place and took home the Best and Fairest Award.
Yes, certainly Brad would have been pretty happy with that over there with the auto electrical and hardware. Who have Jaden doing some summer work, I think, after that good effort. What about the 14-year-olds, my young group of kids? Who were the award winners?
Will Fisher came away with the Best and Fairest Flowman. He's he's going to grow into a nice, tall midfielder, a modern-day midfielder who gets back and helps the backman out, but can get forward and kick a goal. So really exciting prospect, and capped off a great season. He was also captain of the boys, so a great winner for the Best and Fairest award in Will Fisher this year in the under-14s.
All right, any other awards for the kids there, like encouragement awards that you want to mention?
I'm unsure, Flowman. I didn't get there for the under-14 count, unfortunately. But, I think overall Tom Long did a great job as coach. And there's 4 or 5 kids you could throw a blanket over, not knowing the awards. But Fletcher Keller, I know, had a great season. As we know, Lenny Weir played forward and back, so great utility there of the future, and Xander Eckerman through the midfield. But, I think the best thing that Tom Long did was he got all 21 kids involved and all had a great season. So everyone, could hold their heads high of the under-14 team and the coaching staff. All
right, next year, just a quick observation with the kids coming up from the 14s. How do you think that will help the 17s? So not losing too many kids out of your 17s.
Yeah, I think for the first time in a long time, our under-17s will be a lot stronger next year, and it is on the back of all these really good under-14 players starting to come through. But, there's some great depth in the under-14s as well, Flowman. So look for them to stay strong as well next year and be an exciting year for the club on the junior football side of things. And as we know, the junior netball has had some great squads in as well. So things are looking quite well in that area for the footy club, which is great.
All right, now the netball girls made finals, and I know that down at Eden Apsley, they had a big win over the weekend, and they had a couple of stars in their side too to take that big win.
Yeah, it was just an exciting game. I think, a lot of people would have been sitting in between the footy and the netball and keeping an eye on both, because I think the A-grade netball grand final went down to 2 goals, and the Eden Hope girls, just snuck over the line. And I think, it does help. Emily Burgess in goalkeeper was the league best and fairest. And as we know, at the other end, Sasha McDonald, a state netball player. So there was some great quality netball played, and the Eden Hope girls obviously were really challenged by Laharam and, managed to win the premiership.
All right, your junior girls coming through, enough talent. Do you think the observable talent that they may well be able to challenge again in senior ranks?
Yeah, I think so. Even looking at the best and fairest count for the A-grade netball, I think Maddie Mara, who's a young up-and-comer, won the best and fairest from Penny Fisher, who, as we know, is a seasoned veteran. So it's good to have these young girls coming through the ranks under the guidance of some really good netballers who know all about it and what it takes to achieve the ultimate goal of premierships.
Premierships is what they're looking for. Big Weary, I know that we'll love to have you back next year. Are you going on with your illustrious career? I mean, obviously you've had a lot of injury trouble this year. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad, Wayne. It's it can be a bit of a battle through the winter months, but that's a little bit my fault as well. I probably could be presenting in a little bit better condition, Flowman, but we'll see how we go next year. If I can get myself fit and my body feeling good, I love playing footy. It's a great sport and love the competition side of it. So if I'm feeling good, I'll go around again. But if I have a bit of a off season, Flowman, I might not be seen back out there next year.
I'd see him on the tennis court doing a Roger Federer or two. It would be great to see Roger Federer, of course, announcing his retirement today. Well, Big Weary, I look forward to talking to you about the Jeparit Rainbow Storm. Absolutely love having you on board, and you do a great job for your local club at the Storm, but also for the Horsham District Footy League.
Thanks very much, Wayne. I appreciate those kind words, and also to yourself. I know the league and the community really appreciates your support of the towns and the sporting clubs.